Imagine a world where the money in your account has an expiration date. Imagine waking up one morning to find 10% of your salary from last month has evaporated simply because you did not spend it fast enough to satisfy government requirements. Imagine walking into a supermarket picking up a piece of beef, and the transaction is declined immediately, not because you lack money, but because your personal carbon quota for this month has run out. This is not a script for a dark sci-fi movie. This is the near future of the global monetary system. Welcome to today's special report, the naked truth about Central Bank Digital Currency, or CBDC. The financial world is standing at a historic crossroads. While the crowd is still distracted by Bitcoin price fluctuations, by red and green stock market sessions, or by noisy political dramas behind the scenes, the architects of the global monetary system are quietly building a giant digital cage. They call it CBDC, or Central Bank Digital Currency. They sell it to you under the beautiful labels of convenience, speed, security, and integration. But let me tell you, the true nature of this monster. It is the end of privacy. It is the death of financial freedom, and it is the beginning of an era of digital feudalism. To understand why CBDC is so dangerous, we need to tear off its flashy marketing cover. Many naive people think I am using bank transfers, I am using e-wallets. So how is CBDC any different? It is just electronic money. Wrong. That is a deadly confusion. Current electronic money in your bank account is a liability. The commercial bank owes you. When you transfer money, it is a change of entries between ledgers. But more importantly, it retains the neutrality of currency. If you withdraw it as cash, you have absolute autonomy. The $100 bill in your wallet does not know who you are, does not know what you buy, and most importantly, no one can turn off its spending function remotely. CBDC is completely different. It is not a debt of a commercial bank. It is a direct liability of the central bank. But the key point lies here. It is programmable money. Please etch this phrase into your mind. Programmable. What does this mean? It means the central bank, and thereby the government, has godlike power over every unit of currency you hold. They do not just control the macro money supply as they do now through interest rates and money printing, but they control the micro, meaning how you spend money. Let us dive into its most terrifying mechanism, the expiration date of currency. Modern economies are drowning in debt. Governments worldwide are facing record-high debt-to-GDP ratios. The debt-based growth model is hitting a dead end. When a recession hits, the traditional tool is lowering interest rates. But when interest rates are already at zero, or even negative, this tool is ineffective. They need you to spend money. They need to increase the velocity of money to save the economy. But what if you are afraid and hoard cash policy failure? This is where CBDC appears as a savior for policymakers, but a nightmare for your assets. With CBDC, they can impose negative interest rates directly on your wallet. If you do not spend all your salary within 30 days, the balance will automatically decrease by 1%, 2%, or vanish completely. You will no longer have the choice to save. You are forced to become a hamster running endlessly on the consumption wheel to keep the creaking economic machine running. Your money is no longer a store of value. It becomes a coupon with an expiration date. It does not stop there. Programmability allows for social behavior control at a level unprecedented in human history. Look at the ESG, or environmental, social, and governance trends in social credit. With cash, you can buy anything as long as it is legal. With CBDC, your wallet is directly connected to your digital ID. Algorithms will decide what you are allowed to buy. You want to buy a plane ticket for travel. Sorry, you have used up your carbon emissions quota for this year. You want to buy foreign currency to protect assets. The transaction is blocked for national financial security reasons. You want to support an opposition organization or a protest movement. Just one click from the command center and your wallet is frozen. You are completely isolated from the economy. In modern society, being cut off from payment capabilities means civil death. We are talking about total surveillance, or the panopticon. Every transaction, no matter how small, like buying a pack of gum or a cup of coffee, is permanently recorded on the central bank ledger. No more anonymous transactions. No more privacy. Your financial data, your spending habits, your geographical location, all are exposed. This data, when combined with artificial intelligence, will create a terrifyingly detailed psychological and behavioral profile of every citizen. And who holds that data? Those in power. Do not think this is far-fetched. Pilot projects are happening aggressively. China with the digital yuan is a long step ahead, integrating deeply into life and social control. Europe is frantically preparing for the digital euro. The Federal Reserve in the US is also researching FedNow and CBDC projects. They are selling it to you as a relief package. Imagine this scenario. A new financial crisis hits, and believe me, it will come. Commercial banks collapse. Liquidity freezes. People panic. At that moment, the government will appear and say, "Do not worry. We will transfer relief money directly to every citizen's CBDC wallet. Just download the app and register your ID." Who can refuse relief money when starving? That is the trap. You accept convenience, you accept free money, and in return, you sign the death warrant for your own freedom. That is the classic Trojan horse tactic. They will say that CBDC helps fight money, laundering, tax evasion, and terrorist financing. Sounds very reasonable, very righteous. But the price to pay is the disappearance of the presumption of innocence for every citizen. In the eyes of the CBDC system, every citizen is a potential criminal needing monitoring 24/7. Private property rights. The foundation of capitalism and personal freedom will be eroded. You do not truly own the money in your CBDC wallet. You are only granted the right to use it under conditions set by the issuer. And those conditions can change at any time, depending on political will. The concept of digital feudalism is not an exaggeration. In the old feudal system, serfs worked on the lord's land and paid taxes they did not own land. In the coming digital feudalism, you work, receive salary and codes issued by the central bank. Lords spend on their platforms, obey their rules, and can be stripped of everything if you are not obedient. Look at the rise of financial sanctions globally. We have seen nations have their assets frozen. We have seen individuals have their accounts locked for political reasons. CBDC will bring this capability down to the micro level to each individual. An absolutely centralized financial system is a risk bottleneck or single point of failure. If the system is hacked, if the algorithm has errors, or simply if the ruler abuses it, the consequences are unfathomable. So, the big question is, what must we small investors, ordinary citizens do before this tsunami? First, wake up. Do not let convenience lull you to sleep. Do not cheer when seeing new payment apps launch without questioning the control behind them. Second, diversify. Never put all your eggs in one basket, especially the fiat currency basket. When CBDC is born, physical cash will gradually be eliminated. They will make using cash difficult, expensive, and suspicious. So, search for assets outside the central bank system. Physical gold and silver. This is God's money, assets that have existed for 5,000 years, with no counterparty risk, no need for electricity, no need for internet, and most importantly, completely anonymous. When the digital system collapses or becomes too stifling, precious metals are the final shield, protecting your prosperity. Bitcoin and decentralized cryptocurrencies. Do not confuse CBDC with Bitcoin. They are opposites like water and fire. Bitcoin is decentralized, no one controls it. Fixed supply. CBDC is centralized absolute control, infinite supply. Bitcoin is the escape route from the inflationary and surveillance monetary system. Learn self-custody, holding your own private keys. Not your keys, not your coins. Real estate, land, real assets, tangible things you can touch, use, and control. In an increasingly virtual world, the value of real things will become even more precious. Third limit, debt. Debt is the chain binding you to the system. When you are in debt, you are vulnerable. You easily have to accept unfair conditions to survive. Financial freedom starts with not being dependent. We are living in the transition phase of major cycles. The Bretton Woods monetary system is dying. The era of the petrodollar is shaking. CBDC is the final effort of the financial elite to maintain power and control as the old system collapses. It is poison coated in sugar. Do not look at what they say. Look at what they do. They are hoarding gold at record levels. They are building alternative payment systems. Meanwhile, they want you to hold digital currencies that can be wiped out with just a button press. This is the war for control of your future. Will you be a free citizen with inviolable private property rights, or will you be a number in the system, a serf in the digital age living by the mercy of algorithms? The choice currently still lies in your hands. But that door is closing very fast. Act before it is too late. Do not wait until a QR code decides what you are allowed to eat for dinner. The market waits for no one, and neither does history.